Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back with a little Anime Monday, reacting to anime on Monday with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I should say we're back. Of course, Eric is here as well. We gotta have two guys for the Brotherhood, frankly, right? I can't be doing this myself. Talking just one guyhood, brothers.
I was gonna let it go as long as possible. What's up? Yep, it's me, your only brother. The only brother you have. It's not fair. We're back. We're actually doing this one. We are recording a video.
That's right. We did. It took a little hiatus, but then we went for episode 4. We really needed to build up to that last episode because it's pretty dark and heavy. I mean, a guy who had previously turned his wife into a talking chimera, who could only say "I want to die," and then didn't eat any food till they did die. Then 2 years later, after meeting our heroes, turned his daughter and her dog, mixed them up into a chimera. She could talk a little bit better, or she was willing to talk a little bit more about old daddy, but then a guy with this big scar on his face came in and killed them both, although it was a mercy killing for her. So yeah, it was a fun episode. We had to work up to that fun.
Yep, this show, it's a barrel of laughs, and I don't think it's gonna stop being that way. From what I remember, though, there's a steep climb to an action peak coming, which I'm excited about. But I don't know if it starts
Right.
here.
And that at the peak is when you got off the show and you started watching it the first time, I guess, or right after that first peak.
Yeah, I
So
just quit.
it's probably gonna start here. Like I was kind of saying in our recap of the last episode, I don't really remember what goes from here specifically in terms of like the next couple of episodes. I know obviously Ed and Al are gonna find out what happened to the guy. The what was it? The life something alchemist, the sewing life alchemist, I believe,
That's
in the
exactly
dub.
what he's called.
Yeah. So they're gonna find out. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be that upset that he's dead, but that the Chimera daughter is dead. And yeah, this Scar guy is just killing off state alchemists, you know, crossing presents off his list for Christmas.
Land
Trying
your
to get,
plane there. We got it.
yeah, it was a bit of a rocky landing. We might have lost the landing gear on the bottom. Wheels rolled off. But what do you think is up with? So for the viewer, even though Eric's seen the next couple still back in a while ago, but he doesn't know where the general series is heading. So can I ask a few questions? Like, what do you said last time you didn't really remember this Scar
I
character
don't remember
from?
this guy much at all.
Okay.
But to answer the question you're about to ask, he talks a lot about sins, and then immediately after his scenes, someone in the officer corps will mention the Ishval Civil War. So
Mm-hmm.
those are connected, obviously.
You're drawing a line from that. So if you want to dig into that further for a second, what? Yeah, they keep saying about this Ishval War. What do you think he was? Do you think he was a soldier in the war? Do you think he was like a victim of the soldiers? What? Or a third option?
Because of this show's heavy use of missing parents tropes, I'm going to say that he was orphaned by the war, and it's a "you killed my pa" situation.
Gotcha. About how long ago do you think this war, like from the current timeline of the show, when do you think the war took place?
I would say long ago enough that Edward could not have participated at all, but that
Mm-hmm.
his parents' generation might have.
Yeah, actually, I think that's probably about right now. Because when I set up the question, I'm not sure if they revealed it yet, but we did have the in episode 2 with the flashback when Riza Hawkeye is meeting Winry, their childhood friend. Winry says something about my parents left in the war and didn't come back, sort of thing.
Okay, I didn't
So
remember that, but I
I
am
just
an
remembered it
idiot.
just now, but
So
you're probably right that it is like their parents, those kids' parents' generation. Because Mustang was in the war as well. It doesn't, you can't tell too much with animation, but it doesn't seem like he's supposed to be coded as like an old man or something, right? So he still seems like a young-ish guy.
so it's
Uh,
like 12, 15 years ago.
that might be right. I remember for sure if they say. I mean, they definitely dig more into it, specifically what happened, but If we get the exact timeline, we'll see. But yeah, this episode 5 is called Reign of Sorrow or Sorrow, something like that. I just had looked it up and it's something to that effect. So more happy times here, spreading joy. And what do you think? I said, like, well, it's probably going to be, they're going to find out, presumably, the Elric brothers, what happened at the end of last episode. But any other predictions for this one?
More vengeance from Scarface.
From the Scarman, okay. More. What do you think the body count in this episode is going to be for the State Alchemists, or in general, I guess?
One big one.
One big one. All right. Well, without further ado, then let's see if we get our one big one or what we get. Let's make it rain. Always going into this at the beginning.
Ed and Al visited the home of Shao Tucker.
No, you might have been being sarcastic last time, but you did say something like you like these little recaps at the beginning of the episode.
I wasn't being sarcastic. It reminds me of when I was like 11 years old and watching Gundam. Like his voice sounds exactly like that. After Colony 999.
Might be the same guy, honestly.
It could be.
Probably has the market cornered on these anime dubs.
Reign of Sorrow.
Right. Oh, looks like we're back at the homestead.
Thank God.
Nope, it's a flashback. Mom is alive.
I transmuted it. You're your father's son, all right.
Important note that their father is an alchemist. I don't know. I can't remember if they've said that before.
I think this is the first time they've made it explicit. Oh boy.
Why couldn't you make mommy better, Ed?
Big brother.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that would give you nightmares, I would say. We saw a quick shot last time when they were playing with the girl and her dog. She said something about her dad being busy, and they had a flash to, like, back in the day, looking in at his dad working.
Okay, so that was not the first time.
But that was just a quick flash, so we knew he was, like, working and not playing with them, but we didn't know until now maybe that he was an alchemist.
Now she is not an alchemist.
No, that's Riza Hawkeye, Mustang's right-hand woman. She's a sharpshooter.
To be stripped of his certification and stand trial for what he did to Nina. But they're both dead.
Dead?
You'll find out anyway, so I might as well tell you. They've been murdered. Just heading over to the scene now.
We're coming with you.
You sound as though you were expecting this. Fill me in.
No, but also fill me in.
Yeah. Back to that city of heresy.
But we must hold tight to our faith. The time has come.
This must also be a flashback, right? Because we saw this guy get basically eaten at the end of his episode.
Eaten? What? Oh, yep.
The guy that was with this woman she said, like, you can. I think she actually said don't eat him, but then it looks like he was going to anyway.
Wouldn't you agree, Gluttony?
Fools, all of them. Fools indeed, sad but true.
Gluttony, this guy.
Sorry to have to put you to all of this trouble.
Responsibilities I need to get back to.
The Fullmetal boys' interference was irritating.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought maybe
Maybe
she said don't eat him and then he didn't.
Finish up ahead of schedule.
I thought they implied he died in that other episode.
To the believers, and you have a fine recipe for instant violence.
Different
Humans are
guy.
such simple creatures.
This is a different father.
Bloodshed.
Is that what you're saying?
breeds
Inherently.
more hatred,
Huh.
until all of the violence soaks into the land.
Yeah, I don't
driving
remember
rivers
this.
of blood. They never learn. The human race is made up of violent, miserable fools.
Are lots of people gonna die again?
Yes, they will.
Oh, can I eat all of them after they die?
No, you may not. By the way, Envy, could you
Okay.
lose the old man costume?
Oh, that's right.
Character. But if you insist,
Yeah, he was dead.
this time around,
But they still need him.
Computer model, what do you say?
A monster! What's going on here? Anello!
It's your call.
He said I was a monster. I think that's quite rude, don't you?
Yep.
Oh, hey, did you hear the news? Shao Tucker, that alchemist in East City, he's dead.
Speaking of East City, isn't that where the Flame Colonel's staying right now?
Yeah.
East
and apparently
City.
the Fullmetal Brat's there, too.
Oh, is he? Feared with our work here. We can't very well let him die. He's an important sacrifice.
So yummy!
We'll find some way of handling the situation.
Scar. Because of his face?
Yeah.
Scar.
Our target is both unidentified and elusive.
I thought it's because they're big Lion King fans.
That's who you're trying to
I guess I
hunt
should have
down.
remembered, but I
By
forgot
order
that
of
they're
the
not
Military Police
like
Command Center.
there are two sets of antagonists right now.
It seems that way based on what we just heard from.
All state alchemists. His
Did they say
partner
her
count
name yet?
nationwide is up to 10.
They said Envy
5
and
days
Gluttony,
ago, he
but
took down old man Gron.
If they haven't said that her name is Lust, we
we
obviously
obviously know.
there's a pattern here. Yeah.
That shows
Yeah.
you how dangerous this guy is.
So based on what Les just said, yeah, it seems they're not aligned.
Nobody will blame you. Please, I'm asking as your friend. You and Tucker are the only state alchemist of note in this area, right?
Fullmetal.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. Alchemy is the science of understanding the flow of matter and its laws. Reconstruction. The world flows too. It must also follow laws. Everything circulates. Teacher sure drummed that into our heads, didn't she?
Quite a mantra.
I thought I understood it. Now here I am again.
They've mentioned their teacher a couple times now. We haven't
I
seen
think we
them.
met her.
I'm such a hopeless idiot. All this
Might have did
time,
a quick
I haven't
flash to
grown up
her.
one bit. But right now, every drop that hits my face is even more depressing.
Yeah, I guess that was in the
I didn't
flashback
even get
episode.
that much.
Just the rain of sorrow.
That's something I
He
know
Quite
thought that the
literal.
rain-
all
Nah.
the time.
He thought the rain would
I'm
make
gonna
his
get my
mood
body
better.
back
What are you, the
soon,
Addams
brother.
family?
Even if it means going against the flow of the world and trying to do the impossible.
There he is.
Mr. Edward Elric, correct?
Boom.
What does he want? This is bad. This is really bad.
Let's go out! Run for it!
He must have quite a presence if Edward's running away. Usually it wasn't that we've seen so far. He hasn't been scared of anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Grab on!
He also seems to be doing stuff without circles, like Edward does.
Problem. Making enemies isn't something that well,
It feels like that's just gonna be a rule that like
reason someone should be trying to kill me.
is true when it's convenient. You know?
He might. I'm trying to remember now. He might have some other ways doing it, because you can't always see where the circles people have are.
Why are you after us?
As long as there are creators like you in the world, there must also be destroyers.
That's so metal.
See one, aren't you? But too slow.
Oh,
Fullmetal Alchemist.
yeah, Mustang has him on his glove.
There's nothing inside.
You bastard!
Too slow. Then that explains why my attacks didn't do the damage I expected.
Don't! Just run away!
You idiot! I'm not gonna leave you behind, Al!
Now I see. Some of yours. Alchemy.
Run away! Brother!
Unfortunately, there isn't any god I'd like to pray to. Or are you going after my brother Al, too?
If he interferes, I will eliminate him. But Fullmetal Alchemist, you are the only one who is receiving judgment today.
Judgment.
Okay. In that case, I want your word. Promise me you won't hurt my brother.
Brother, what are you thinking? Run! Get up and run! No! No, you can't! Stop it!
You won't be killing anybody else today, Scar.
Calling you Scar
You will
now. It's
answer
your
for the
official
murders
name.
of at least 10 state alchemists. They profane God, the true creator of all things. As an agent of God, I am here to hand down his judgment. Oh, is that right? You guys stay out of it.
Colonel Mustang, sir!
Colonel Mustang. So this is the Flame Alchemist. This is truly an auspicious day. So you know who I am, and you still want to challenge me. Bad decision.
It's raining.
What'd you do that for?
You know as well as I do, You're useless on rainy days. Please stay back.
To get a spark going.
I
when
love
it's
how long
raining,
they
huh?
hold this guy back
It is
too.
fortunate that you can't create your blasphemous flame, State Alchemist. My mission right here and now. I'd like to see you try it.
Yes.
A newcomer. You have to be quick to avoid my fist. Not bad. You said you were going to destroy us all. In that case, why don't you start by defeating me? We'll see how you fare against the strong-arm alchemist, Alex Louis Armstrong. God is putting them in my path.
And one of the
Not
best
backing
ones.
down? In that case, your courage will earn you a demonstration. I'm a strong family for generations.
That's the same man who murdered Mr. Tucker and his daughter.
What is?
Major, watch what you're doing! We don't want to destroy the city, do we?
What do you mean? Destruction and creation are two sides of the same coin.
We have to strip.
Are you surprised? He's
He
clearly
has to
a
destroy his shirt.
But we understand, don't we, Scar?
So this killer is an alchemist, too.
The transmutation process are construction, deconstruction, and reconstruction. This guy just must stop at the deconstruction phase.
That mean he's strayed from whatever his ways of God are, too?
Targeting alchemists with state certification.
What indeed?
Let's debate it. Will they fight?
With his alchemy, he won't be an easy one. I have you cornered, Scar! Right. There it is.
Got him. Not my 90s sunglasses.
Fast. I only grazed him with one shot.
Red eyes and brown skin, that means he's...
Of course, he's an Ishvalan.
Perhaps there are too many.
Red
Might
eyes
as
and
well give
brown
up,
skin.
Scar. You're not getting away.
He proceeds to get away immediately.
Worse.
Stay put.
Sure, you don't have to tell me twice.
But thank you for buying us enough time to surround him.
I was hardly buying time. It was all I could do to keep myself from being killed.
I thought it best to lay low.
Okay, so he's not an alchemist. He's a base bunny.
A person like me shouldn't get dragged into a freak show with you pack of pseudo.
It's more of a desk man.
Don't just stand there. We've got things to do.
Alphonse looks like a shark bit him.
Alphonse! Alphonse! Talk to me. Are you alright?
Oh my God, not
That
again.
suit of armor's eldest younger brother, is it?
Come on, Al. Do you hear me?
Why didn't you run away when I told you to?
Away! I'm not just gonna run away and leave you behind.
Which is exactly why you're an idiot!
Run away! You could have been killed. You know that?
And maybe I wouldn't have been.
Hey, easy on the idiot stuff. I'm still your older brother. Got it?
I'll say it all I want to. Survival is the only way, Ed. Live on. Learn more about alchemy. You could find a way to get our bodies back and help people like Nina. I won't allow you to abandon the possibility of hope and choose a meaningless death. And now my arms come off because my brother's a big fat idiot.
Yeah, you guys got washed.
We're really falling apart, aren't we, brother? We belong in a junkyard. We are.
Good grief, I've stumbled into an extra special kind of freak show, huh? If this got out, things would get complicated. Yeah, I don't envy you. This is
That
one
changes
tough
everything
customer
for some
you're dealing
reason?
with.
Well, let's talk about it after this ends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're gonna show
We're
us.
a race
Okay.
of people who live to the east of us. They believed that their god Ishvala was the one absolute creator. Even after
Red
they were annexed into
eyes.
the country. Then, 13 years ago, a military officer accidentally shot and killed an Ishvalan child.
Yeah, I'm sure the conquering military accidentally shot and killed a child.
Before long, the rebellion had spread to the whole eastern sector.
Skeptical, huh?
An order came down from the military high command.
Just the Führer.
To Ishval. Many state alchemists were brought in to act as human
Young
weapons.
Mustang. Oh, that's the guy who died last time. And that's the guy we saw in the first episode.
That man is an Ishvalan survivor.
There's no justification for taking revenge on people who had nothing to do with it. He's just dressing his ugly lust for vengeance in the mantle of his god and calling himself an agent of justice.
He's coming at us with full force. We can't let ourselves be killed for his cause. Got it?
Yes, sir.
What are you two going to do now? What's the plan?
Going to keep moving. We can't just sit around, not as long as we're still alive. Before we can make any headway on getting your body back, we have to get my arm back to normal. We've got no choice. It's been a long time.
Uh-oh.
We need to pay a visit to our mechanic.
She's gonna be real happy to see them, right?
Mm-hmm. Their old childhood friend.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yes, that was Winry they flashed to. I think that's, well, maybe you wouldn't know if you're watching this the first time, but you'd probably
You
make
would
the
remember her
connection.
from the episode that we watched right before our little hiatus.
Well, actually, from episode 2, I think, with the flashback when she was younger. And I mentioned her in the intro to this one because I was talking about her parents being in the war also. So that came up a lot this time, the war in Ishval. Scar is Ishvalan, Red Eyes. He's doing some kind of alchemy that's only halfway or 2/3 of the way where it ends on destruction.
When Mustang was giving that info dump on Ishval, did he describe that war as an extermination?
Well, they said civil war. Did he say they brought in the state alchemist to exterminate, something like that?
I think so.
I guess so. I mean, it seems to be what.
And then
they're
Al
trying to
immediately
accomplish.
says, "No, this guy's just awful."
Al said that?
Mustang describes it as an extermination, then says, "You know, if I'm right and he is Ishvalan, he'd be pretty justified in wanting revenge." And Al's like, "No, there's no excuse for revenge. You exterminated my people, man."
Ed said that, not Al.
Oh, Ed. Okay.
Yeah, he's saying.
Sorry, Al the Alchemist. I did it. I hear it.
Al is the suit. Both alchemists, but so Edward's the only state alchemist of the two of them, though, officially. I do agree with his point. I think that he was saying, at least I think it's a viable point, that dressing up his anger or his need for revenge on this, and like the people like Ed himself obviously weren't part of this, although they are. Yeah, it's kind of a little both sides saying dog of the military, so they're kind of supporting it at this point. I don't know, like, what's the line there? Like, if you join the military, are you responsible for the past actions from years ago? I don't know. It is the same regime, I guess.
Participating is certainly a line.
And so far, what we know, well, Hughes, even though Hughes is not a alchemist, he was in the war also. They've mentioned it before. Him and Armstrong. Armstrong was there in the official capacity. I mean, not Armstrong, but Armstrong might have been there too. I don't know if they've said that or not yet, but Mustang rather was there in official capacity as a alchemist. It looked like they had a shot of the guy who Scar killed at the beginning of last episode, the brown mustache guy.
There was a guy who looked a lot like Envy.
That guy we saw in the first episode. The one who they were fighting, the ice alchemist who they were fighting in the first episode, when he was in jail, that guy was in jail.
Okay, yeah, that's the guy whose attitude is "I'm the dang Joker." Okay.
Yeah, it's the Joker guy. So as far as we know, he is in prison for some reason, doing Joker things. Maybe. Well, who knows?
Not war crimes. Different reason. Okay.
It does not seem like he would be in jail for war crimes if he should be, because none of the other ones were. Yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. I can't remember if Riza was in the war. She might be too young. But of all the characters, yeah, we have to see what's going on there. Also, the map it just says like east, west, north, and they said East City this time. That's where they are now. So I think in this world, it's just 4 quadrants basically of the land here, of the country at least. I guess maybe not the whole world, but Ishval was a annexed part of the country, I guess they said. What about the rest of the episode? We got a lot more info here, but it was mostly about the Scar. Last time you were saying, like, is he gonna be I think you called it like a both sides. I could see both sides villain.
Oh yeah. The villain had a point. If I'm right about what Mustang said, then I'm right.
Yeah. It seems like you might be. And then we also talked about it during the episode a little bit, but the other villains we've been introduced to, we got a little more from them this time too. Lust, Envy, and Gluttony. Yeah, they do not seem to be aligned, but they're keeping tabs on the situation, it sounds like. And they want Edward not to be killed as well. For what purpose, we don't know. They said he's a sacrifice, though, so that's interesting. So maybe they do want him to be killed eventually, but not randomly or not by someone else before their purpose is what it sounds like.
And the thing that they're doing involves sowing chaos and just
Mhm.
making people violent.
It seems like they're causing riots to occur in whatever city, the city of heresy, I forget what, Leor, I think it's called.
Sure.
Yeah, and basically this envy guy can change into other shapeshift, basically, and he's pretending to be that heretic priest that Gluttony ate off screen, kind of, in the other episode. This time he was eating another priest basically on screen. There, Envy and Lust were just having a little catch up combo while Gluttony was eating a human behind them, having a good time with it as well. It sounded like.
So oh yeah, no, he loves eating people.
He has a voice where he kind of sounds like a little kid, basically. So I don't think he's the smartest guy. It seems like Lust is the one in charge.
Very much so.
I still don't know if they said her name yet, but maybe they have. But well, like we said, we know it. Yes. So the 7 deadly sins is basically what it seems like the setup is, meaning there theoretically should be 4 other villains. Maybe they're not all villains. We don't know. 4 other people aligned with these 3.
So we're gonna see a sloth demon, sloth.
Maybe.
Thing.
Yeah, that would follow. That would be 4. What are the other ones now? I'm trying to remember.
Greed.
I shouldn't say that because I've seen the show, but greed is that I said. Yeah.
Gluttony. Pride.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the 7th.
7 Deadly Sins is the name of another anime series, by the way, which I've watched some of. Not as good as this, certainly, but it's...
I can't follow that one at all. It's like every time I see it on like Netflix or something, it's a completely different show than the one I thought it was.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z, which may surprise some people. I think you mentioned it before, watching when you were a kid, but I get the sense that it's that style of show.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a bunch of powers and they scream, and yeah. So the 7 deadly sins are lust, envy, and gluttony, which we've seen, greed, as you said, sloth, pride, and wrath.
How can I forget wrath?
So, are you going on record saying we will see 4 more with those other 4 names?
It doesn't make any sense that they would not do that, you know?
Yeah, that's what I would think too. So we'll look out for that. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about this episode or that we didn't touch on? I guess we didn't really talk about Al. What do you think about Al yelling and getting mad at that in there?
I mean, that's just anime shit, right? Just like, no, you should have saved yourself. You should, stop trying to be a hero. No, I can't stop trying to be a hero because I am a hero. But more importantly, the show is about those 2 characters, and we just watched him get his ass beat. So that's,
So they need to level up, it sounds like.
Right, and I assume they will, because again, the show is about those characters. But...
Yeah, and there's 60-some episodes, so they get time to do it. They should at least. Well, listen, Eric, again, this is the Brotherhood podcast, so if I lay it down and stop going, say I want to stop going, I want you to yell at me and slap me and stuff like that and be like, no, we have to always keep moving. We have to continue to the end, okay?
Promise, brother.
Thank you. And you're younger than me also, so you would be like this situation. I haven't seen you wear a suit of armor, but I don't know for sure that you don't.
Off camera.
Okay, so, yeah. I guess you're not an empty suit of armor, but there's some similarities, so yeah. Stay tuned next time. Maybe we'll uncover more similarities. Maybe we won't. But what we will do is go ahead and react to Brotherhood Episode 6, Fullmetal style here. And we'll see what that one's called next time. But until then, we're up out of here. Peace.
Oh, is it over now?